All right, let's see if this thing's working. Looks like everything's working for now. I'm trying a few new things. Doesn't look like anyone's in though. Well, I know no one's in yet, and that's okay, but just in case you end up watching this video on YouTube while I'm waiting for people to come in, this is a live stream coverage for a very robust, very dangerous severe weather threat today. This is the second day of what may be a potentially 3-day, multi-day severe weather event. Yesterday was pretty active. A lot of damaging wind reports and hail reports were actually the highest reported hazard of the three. There was a tornado in Alabama, but today is expected to be extremely active with all hazards possible. There is a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather, which is a moderate risk, with threat of large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes, some of which all could be above severe limits or considered as significant. So we'll be here live trying to cover all this as the day goes on. There's already a severe thunderstorm watch. This meso discussion that I just clicked on a second ago is indicative of a second potential watch, which I was kind of leery of while I was on mute with my mic right now. So we're just waiting to see how things play out, and as people come in, we'll start to talk a little bit more. But we'll keep an eye on the viewers and wait for you guys to come in. I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for the sub, Matthew. I appreciate you. Just waiting on things to kind of get going here. Hopefully more people will come in. If not, we'll just kind of we'll still keep rolling and just go on from there. I'm doing some updates to the stream right now while I'm waiting here. I'm staying productive. let's see if this makes any difference here. Storms over here heading towards the second watch. I'm going to be watching a little closer. These in particular seem to favor a damaging wind threat, in particular tornadoes possible or two across this meso discussion that just popped up a little bit ago. And this is also probably going to be where they either issue a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch. I think because they have the tornado possible tag with that set up here, they're going to probably end up issuing a tornado watch more so than severe thunderstorm watch. Severe thunderstorm watch has already been issued for this meso discussion over here to the north. This includes parts of Texas and Oklahoma, towns like Ada, Duncan, Adamore, Wichita Falls, Graham. And this is areas off to the west of the Dallas Metroplex here. So we'll be keeping an eye on those as time goes on. Let me go ahead and switch to the Fort Worth radar. We aren't quite in range for these storms just yet, I don't think. We're just outside the radar circle. But I think the Abilene radar might be able to cover both of these zones for right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. Storms look like they're moving. They have more of a northward component this time as compared to yesterday, which had more of an eastwardly component. So far in this area, there's only one severe thunderstorm warning, and that was issued mainly for damaging winds and hail. There's a second one that's popped up, however, towards Missouri and Kansas here. This one has 1 inch hail and less than 50 mile per hour winds. We'll scroll out of that because I think that's a little bit too close of a view. Wish I could figure out how to control that. In due time, I will. I think I'll find a way, but in the meantime, we'll just have to figure out how this works here. One thing that really is irritating with the live thing is I've noticed that switching between radars can sometimes be a little bit of a chore for the computer, I think. It looks like they put a mesoscale discussion out here for this. Now I've zoomed out too far. I wish the meso discussions would actually pop up here, like in this little right-hand corner with the rest of the alerts. So that way I don't have to just look for them. Because if I'm zoned in on a certain area, then that could be a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Looks like there's already been reports of hail up here too, towards northeastern Oklahoma. Hey there, Justin. Hey there, Jay. I hope you're doing well, bud. Yep, 1.75 inch hail. And this was reported by the public. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and see what this mesoscale discussion has for us here. It's a little tricky to click on sometimes, too. You can't click over a storm. Okay, watch unlikely. I figured that was going to end up being the case, but because the parameters are actually not that great up here, but we just got that one off storm that's just like really yesterday over towards Ohio, where there was little chance of a watch being issued, but we had a handful of storms that went through there that produced some significant wind and hail. So the dynamics are pretty robust with this setup, even far-reaching, but not everywhere we're going to end up seeing a watch today. We'll see what happens over here. And this is over towards where one of my viewers is, who will be on stream probably a little later. Oh, hey Matthew. Yeah, Radar Omega is it's a beast, but it's quite a learning curve too. And they just put a new update up as well, so it's gonna be a lot to take in at first. It was kind of intimidating at first for me to use, but as time went on, it's gotten a little bit easier. Uh oh. I don't know why my chat's acting up on here. See if I can't switch this over or something. Have you gotten the latest update, Matthew? By the way. See what the new alerts might look like here. I will warn you one thing about Radar Omega. It's good, but I notice sometimes the switching between radar sites can be a bit difficult. Maybe that's because I'm on stream right now and I'm using a lot of CPU, and I just don't think this computer is quite at that level to handle it. But I'm going for it anyway. I think I'm gonna keep an eye on these storms that are a little further to the south. Those seem like they're gonna become really intense a little bit later. They just pulled the trigger and issued that new severe thunderstorm watch. I was wondering if they were gonna lean into a tornado watch, but I figured maybe they would go severe thunderstorm. It seemed more sensible. This is forming right on that stationary cold front there. So this is gonna ultimately end up going linear regardless. We'll see how these storms end up forming as they go on. We'll switch over to the Abilene radar here now. I think I'm getting a better response out of these radars than the ones a little further away. Oh yeah, this is a much better picture. It's an interesting storm over here toward Mineral Wells that could be watched. So far, nothing screaming at me that says tornado. This storm over here a little further to the north, while this one doesn't have a lot of tornado potential, it definitely seems to have damaging wind potential. Probably gonna have to play musical chairs radar edition in order to keep up with this, because the radar at Abilene isn't really giving as good of a picture as what we could be seeing over here towards maybe, I guess you would call this the Wichita Falls radar site, but it's actually over towards Oklahoma. But this is the Fort Worth radar. And this one actually looks like it's starting to weaken a bit. We'll see how this one continues to progress. But it looks like that storm's starting to weaken. But these storms are starting to get their act together over here again between Jacksboro and Mineral Wells. That one towards Jacksboro has an interesting look to it. We'll see if it builds up some momentum and becomes something really worth watching in a bit here. I think a little further to the east is whenever we'll start to see that tornado potential really start to rise here. Right now the best sites to look at right now are probably I would say Fort Worth and Abilene. only reason I'm looking at Abilene is because those storms to the south there are gonna probably start to really build momentum soon. The one toward Dallas gives you a slightly better picture of the severe thunderstorm warning that's active right now in Texas. And then, of course, there's another severe thunderstorm warning over towards Missouri there, just past Joplin. So when you click on the little globe thing for the warning or the little radar icon, it'll take you to that one. But sometimes the process takes a little bit. Dang it. Dang it, I cannot get this to work. Looks like the severe thunderstorm warnings have just expired, it looks like. We'll see if there's any reissues there. The one over towards Wichita Falls it looks like it'd been falling apart for a bit. See if it ends up recycling, getting more organized as time goes on. There's still plenty of lightning over there, but not much in the way of a radar signature. They just look like some really messy thunderstorms at the moment. I do see potential for it to eventually reorganize as it moves further to the east and get some more favorable conditions. I'm really interested in these storms right over here between Bowie and Weatherford. I'm going to watch these really close, especially this one off towards the middle. I think maybe just for a moment as it moves further to the east, I think it might have a chance of maybe tapping into some low-level wind shear, and we could have some increased chance of maybe a quick spin up. The real tornado threat's a little bit further to the east, just right in or just past Dallas. So this little cluster is definitely going to be something to watch. Let's check out that storm that was over. Let's check out the warning that was issued over towards. Yeah, they've downgraded that now too. So there are currently no severe warnings right now. So far, the chasers haven't really committed to any storms yet. So I'm waiting to see what ends up going on with that there. Oh, and in case I hadn't mentioned before, just to help this stream get out there to more people, hit that like button if you haven't already. Feel free to also share this video or share this stream, so that way we can get this warning out to more people. It's going to be a very long stream, so when things start to pick up, we'll get more active on here. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying this rest period while I can, because I know things are going to pick up inevitably. So in the meantime, just kind of sit back and relax. You don't have to necessarily keep track of the stream until you hear my voice start to get more you hear my voice more, and you hear a little bit more intent. Right now I'm just kind of relaxing. In fact, I even have my guitar in my hand. I'm just warming up, just doing some practice, like scales and stuff. Just nothing really impressive. Dang it. Let's see what Vince Welty's doing in the meantime, I guess. I don't want to give you guys just dead silence right now. Also, anyone that's watching the stream right now, how is the latency, the lag? Been trying a few new things to try to help work around that. Oops, that's not what I was trying to click on. Let's see. This will be a real moment of truth right here. Oh, this is just a site. This isn't where Vince is right now. Thought this was Vince's icon. It's not at the moment. So it looks like there's really no one committing to any storms yet. I think this is Yep, this is Brandon Kopic. He's waiting. I think he's waiting on this line of storms here to develop. Just waiting to see if he's got his stream on. Doesn't seem like I'm able to get a hold of it right now. Right, there we go. Now we'll just see if his screen will pop up. Yeah, I don't think he started his actual stream just yet. Let's do a quick update on this group of storms here. The one towards Weatherford looks like it's really starting to gain some momentum. I'm like the way that that storm has really started to develop. It's begun to take that supercellular shape to it. It's looking pretty discreet right now too, so that could really bode well for it in the short term here. We'll see what this ends up doing. I do see an inflow notch here that looks really interesting, but as of right now, I'm not really urgently concerned about it just yet. I will take a look at the velocities, but I know nothing should be really prevalent with that now. There's some weak rotation in there. We'll see if that intensifies over the next few scans. Charge my phone while I'm at it. Out here. Okay, let's try this again. I'm not sure why I keep on having issues right now. Storm over here towards Crum looks really impressive here. This is just outside of Denton. I'm going to be watching that one too. See if anyone over here. I wonder if Brandon Kopic's turning hot on any of this yet. I anticipate at some point soon he's going to probably go live and turn on his feed. So right now, though, I don't really see him doing much anything. He's just kind of sitting there waiting. He's in a good position, though. That storm further to the south towards Springtown is really starting to pick up, though. You can see the lightning starting to really form around it really well, especially towards that southern end there, towards the hail core. Might see a warning on this one pretty soon, and then the one near Denton around St. Yep, just as soon as I said that too. There it is, severe thunderstorm warning there. This one looks really intense as well. I think these two might end up crossing paths. Let's go ahead and put a loop on and see what's going on here. But while we're waiting, look at the severe thunderstorm warning that we have now. This is issued for Wise, Jack, and Parker counties in Texas. Some cities that are and towns that are in line for this severe thunderstorm are Chico, Decatur, Bridgeport, Paradise, Runway Bay, Boyd, New Fairview, and Springtown. But we can't disinclude the city of Rome for being in the path of that as well. Some areas a little further down the line that need to be watchful of both of these storms right here. And here would be Munster, Lindsay, Gainesville, Valley View, Sanger, and Callisburg, and also Thackerville, and anyone across the I-35 corridor here. So make sure you are taking the proper precautions here and taking shelter. I'm really interested in what this storm is going to end up doing over here towards Crum. It's really starting to look impressive on radar. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take a little look at the velocity here and see what we got going there. There's a nice shape to it, but not much in the way of rotation right now. I'm going to go back to reflectivity here and then see if these storms will be on a path with potentially crossing paths here with one another. Yeah, there's a chance these two could end up crossing paths here. Unless this storm over here towards Crum really starts to organize and take that right turn. But you see additional storms forming around it, and that's going to be the one issue that may limit the tornado threat, is the fact that you get multiple cells forming around the same area, and as a result, what will end up happening is we'll see a storm start to get its act together, and then all of a sudden it'll start to get undercut by additional storms. Dang it, I was on mute the whole time. But looks like storm chasers are starting to go on the move here. These two storms look like they're starting to really pick up momentum here, especially this one over here towards in between Springtown and Runaway Bay. It's forming what looks to be an appendage here, maybe a little bit of a hook. And then we have a secondary, and we have that second storm over here that looks like it's starting to really ramp up a bit over towards Crum and Sanger. So these two, oh, there it goes. It just got a severe thunderstorm warning on it. And now these two are lined up behind each other. But these two could breathe out enough to the point where they could still potentially produce a quick spin up. We'll see what happens there. Like I said, there's a northward component with this storm too, so that could be a limiting factor, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and look at the velocity signatures here. Right now, I don't see anything that would I haven't seen anything as of yet that would make it scream out tornado to me as of right now. But I do see some weak rotation in both sectors of this storm, in both of these storms here. Okay, so Vince Welty's stream is not up right now. Let's see if we can't get the secondary feed. Hey, there we go. No sound though. It's kind of a bummer. It's a good thing he has a secondary feed though. I'm wondering just which storm he's going to be going to. I'm struggling with signal right now. Ooh. It's coming in hot through there. This one over here towards Crum and Sanger is really starting to pick up. Looks like Valley View is next in the path of this storm here. We might have to look at areas further to the north after that. Valley View would be next, and then Gainesville after that, from the looks of it. And I think we're starting to get toward the edge of this radar this radar's range here too. So we might have to make some changes here. We're gonna go full screen for just a minute here if I can. I might not be able to actually. If not, we'll try and do something a little different here. Okay, yeah, full screen is not happening right now. Let's see if we can maybe get a hold of Brandon Kopic instead right now, since we can't get any sound out of. And they are right on top of each other practically. I think Brandon's a little bit further ahead. Yeah, I don't think he has his feet up, or we're just not able to get hold of it right now. Some wind gusts already towards 60 miles an hour, and he's not even near the storms yet. That's crazy. I think Vince just passed him too, by the way. They're racing. They're racing to the storm. They're racing to glory.